right. Hey, Vikings fans, welcome into another episode of the Skol Hop. I'm Evan.
I'm Austin.
We're just a couple of dudes from Iowa. We like drinking beer, talking about the Vikings.
Yeah, we do. And to get some beer money, our show is sponsored. If you're a avid listener to the podcast, you know our great sponsor is Big Top Ventures. So let's give them a shout out here. Shout out to those guys. If you're looking to take a trip to an all-inclusive in Mexico or Jamaica, go ahead and send them an email. We'll put their email on the screen here. Their email is bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. Just send them an email. Say, hey, I'm looking to take a trip down to an all-inclusive in Mexico or Jamaica, and they will get back to you with some good prices, and you will be surprised at how good those prices are. So, thanks, Big Top Ventures.
You know what I've learned about Big Top?
What's that?
They're really good at giving gifts.
They really
we got this nice little sign back here, little neon Skol Hop sign. And even just looking around on our set, there's a few other things that they've gotten for us. So thanks, Big Top. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Most notably probably
that one over
your
there.
Signed Culpepper jersey.
Oh, yeah. I got you a gift.
What?
I did, yeah. So I went to Wisconsin, which, I know, enemy territory.
Why would you...
But I was there this last weekend for a wedding. So,
okay, all right.
And it was a good friend, so, you got to go.
Okay.
But you know what Wisconsin has, right?
They got some pretty good beer.
They have great beer.
As much as I hate to say it, they are good at a few things. So, yes. Scotty's, you've got some good beer. So
if you look behind you, I got you some of, I think what you've told me is your favorite beer of all time.
You're too kind.
This might be like...
Oh, my goodness.
This is... We're doing something new here. Like, we've never had a Wisconsin beer ever on screen.
I appreciate the gift. If you are not watching us on YouTube or Spotify, jump on, take a look. You'll have about 5 more seconds if you're only listening to not know what this gift is. Evan got me some Moon Man from New Glarus.
There you go.
And I've said before, Moon Man might be a perfect beer, at least for me. There's nothing to complain about with this beer. Evan, thank you so much. I will not be drinking this on the podcast.
We will not have it on the podcast because that would break our rule of only having Iowa beer. But I couldn't go to Wisconsin without getting you some of that.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Yeah. We might have to crack one open post-show. Yeah, we might have to.
Off air. Off camera.
Off the podcast. Because we do love beer. We're beer lovers. And... just because we have a personal rule that we only drink Iowa brewed beer on the podcast, we love all kinds of beer from everywhere. So, yeah, we might have to crack one open before the day is done.
For sure. Well, I brought an Iowa beer here, and we're going to continue with our mystery beer series here. Mm-hmm. I realized when I was at the store buying this beer that I think we're out of breweries.
Yeah, we need some help, guys.
So either we need these breweries that don't distribute to get in touch with us so we can get our hands on more great Iowa beer, or we need some new breweries just pop up and start brewing beer in Iowa. But yeah, we're out of breweries, at least for the moment, and what's available to us at our favorite Devil's Glen Hy-Vee.
Yeah. Maybe we just need to talk to those guys at the Devil's Glen Hy-Vee.
We could do that too.
I did hear of this past weekend, of a newer brewery that I don't know how they might have been around forever, but I've never heard of them before. But Field Day Brewing Company in North Liberty area. I've never had anything of theirs. All right. They look kind of newer. I don't know anything about them other than I had never heard of them before a couple of days ago. So might have to keep our eyes peeled for some of their beer. That'd be cool.
Field Day Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Sweet. We should get in touch with them.
But I'm going to guess that that's not the brewery that you got this beer from.
This is not a Field Day Brewing Company beer. No, it is a brewery that we've had.
Okay.
Not a beer that we've had.
Okay.
So it's not a double up. We've only doubled up once, I believe, in the history of the show.
Yeah, maybe twice, but definitely just once that I remember.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's pour these up and see what we got and see if you can guess.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this amazing tinfoil job that we've got here.
You're welcome.
All 4 cans are perfectly tinfoiled, and you didn't even have to use tape like I did last week.
No tape. These were pretty cold, and the condensation, kind of just
sucked it in. All right. Yeah. All right, we'll crack them open. Oh, that was a good open here. All right, I will try not to
spill everywhere. We do have paper towels. We're prepared if we need it. Good old Austin hard pour. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's like 90%
No,
foam.
we'll be all right. You got to do the hard pour. It's on purpose, is what I will tell everybody.
All right. While your beer is settling, I'll put it up to the camera here and I'll describe for those that are listening. I haven't had this before, so this is new to me. It's hard to see through, so it's definitely hazy.
Yeah.
It's similar to last week.
I was going to say this.
It's got
kind of looks like last week.
Got kind of an ambery color.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. What are you getting?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good visual description. It's not as hazy as last week's. You couldn't see through last week's at all, but right now, holding it up, it's pretty dark, but I can see the lights through it. It does have, I did a hard pour, but it's got some nice foam. It foamed up pretty good. The aroma's good. It's, I don't know. It smells like a lighter beer than it looks like. So that's all I'll guess before I taste it, but... Yeah, if you think you know what this looks or what it is just based off the color so far, give us a comment, let us know. But let's try this out and see what we think.
Skol.
Skol.
That's good. You know what this reminds me of? It's not an Iowa beer.
What it reminds you of?
Yeah. A fat tire. It reminds me of a New Belgium fat tire.
Okay. I could see that.
You get that from this?
Yeah. So it's kind of, it's the only word I can think of right now. It's kind of tangy. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
It's definitely got some hops to it.
Yeah. It's hoppy, tangy.
Yeah.
It's good though. I like it.
It's not really citrusy, so I don't really know, man. I'm just gonna make my first guess. Remember, we try to guess the type, the ABV, and the brewery. So I'm gonna make my first guess. Just gonna umbrella guess here. Is it an IPA?
It's close to an IPA, but it is not an IPA.
All right. Well, 0 for 1 so far.
Change the first letter in the IPA abbreviation.
Okay. I mean, so a pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a New England?
No.
Okay. All right.
New England is a New England IPA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe this isn't an official beer, but it's what's on the can. It's an American pale ale.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's an official type. Okay. So there's still some hoppy, good flavor.
Yep.
Kind of tangy. Kind of.
It's not as citrusy though. You're
looking.
right. Yep. Definitely got an amber color. I think there's like a maltiness to it a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like the malty,
I think that's what gives
sweetness.
the amber color. And I love that in a beer. I love that malty flavor.
All right. So ABV. So last week I kind of went a little overboard with the, what was it? The Tropical Burn, the 8.5%. It was delicious, but
very good.
Yeah. That lets you know it was there.
Oh yeah.
This, I'm going to guess just right at 5%.
A little higher than that.
Okay.
Yep.
Like 5.5?
A little higher than that.
Wow. Is it 6?
It's 6%.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, 0 for 2 so far. I can't claim anything there.
This is like baseball. Like it's okay if your batting average is like in the 200s. You're still good enough to be in the game.
We should go back and look. I'm not very good at guessing all this. I do have a good funny story from Mexico, but about guessing what we're drinking, but that's for another time. All right, so I'm over to brewery. You said we've had this brewery before.
It's tough to find a brewery that we haven't had.
Yeah, we're getting there. Maybe the one I talked about earlier. We can try to find some of their stuff. Also, we have like a beer encyclopedia in our friend Forrest. He could probably direct us to some beers that we haven't had before.
We need to have Forrest on.
I was thinking about that. It's been a minute since we've had him on. So anyways, I can only delay so long. Have we been to this brewery before?
We have not.
Have you or I been? To your
I have
knowledge?
not. I'm pretty sure you haven't.
Okay.
But I would be surprised if you have.
All right.
We'll put it that way.
Is it within an hour of us?
No.
Okay.
It's farther away.
Is it in the Des Moines area?
It's not in the immediate Des Moines area.
Oh, man. All right.
It's actually you'll never guess where it's from. It's closer to Des Moines than we are. but it's still probably an hour outside of Des Moines. I would
Okay.
guess.
All right.
So smaller town, not a super big area. Kind of one of Iowa's classic hometowns, I would say.
Okay. Is it a brewery we've had more than once?
I think so. Yep.
Okay. Is it NoCoast?
It is.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to take the W on that one.
1 for 3. You're batting 333.
All right. So, I'll take it.
That's a good batting percentage.
Hall of Fame number right there. So
That is.
All right. We've got a NoCoast beer. I totally whiffed on everything else. What are we drinking here, Ev?
It is NoCoast's American Johnny.
Ooh. I haven't even
Flying
seen
Johnny.
Flying Johnny.
Flying Johnny.
It's got an American flag.
Yeah.
Like a eagle's wings in an American flag. So I can see why you would think that.
The Flying Johnny.
I can't even say that I've seen this can before.
It looked really new to me. Like, I spend an unreal amount of time standing in front of the beer shelf at the Devil's Glen Hy-Vee. Like, they probably think I'm weird because I just scan and I'm like, okay, what haven't we had before? And I pull up my phone and I'm looking through our list and like, no, we've had that one before. And this time I was like, I want to find a brewery we haven't had. And I couldn't.
Well, NoCoast is a good option. I can't think of a NoCoast beer that I haven't liked so far, and we've had at least 2 or 3 of them before.
Yeah, and we're just coming off the 4th of July.
Yeah, this may be, just looking at the can, it looks like a 4th of July can.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be shocked if this was like a
special release kind of
or
thing.
a limited run. But nowhere on the can does it say like only for 4th of July. But yeah, this can screams America. So in the best way possible. There's a guy in a red wagon about to jump through a flaming hoop with a red, white, and blue eagle flying above it. That's as American as you can get there.
Yeah, it definitely stuck out to me when I was scanning the shelves. And I was drawn to it, and then I got pulled away by some other stuff, and then came back to it. And I'm like, no, we're getting that one. We're just gonna do it. So.
And 6% too, like that's as important to me as like flavor. Again, if you go too high, I just can't do too much of it. But if you go too low, I kind of want to feel something when I'm having a good beer. So 6% is usually my like sweet spot of beers that I look for. So. Yeah, good job so far, NoCoast. We'll give some more opinions of it after a couple more.
There you go. What are your thoughts on the Flying Johnny from NoCoast Brewing out of Oskaloosa?
So this, it's got the hoppiness of an IPA in a good way. So if you don't like IPAs, maybe this wouldn't be your favorite. But for me, I love the hoppiness. It's also not a blasting in your face hoppiness flavor. It's like the perfect amount. It's like just right. And it's got a full flavor. Reminds me of an amber a little bit.
Got that color for sure.
So in a really good way, if you ever had the Arms Race from Big Grove, this one kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah,
they're different
for sure.
beers, but they could be like cousin beers. You know, they're close enough that they remind me of each other.
Well, and I likened it to a Fat Tire too.
Yeah, true. With a full body flavor, but nothing about it is too in your face. So like you don't have to need extreme flavors either way to like this beer. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think I like it a little more than you do.
Maybe,
you got to catch up here.
Well,
Come on, man.
We both poured a couple here, so. But yeah, the can's really fun. It kind of gives me the feel that maybe it's a limited run just for the 4th of July, which would make me a little sad because I want to have this beer more often. Like this would enter my repertoire of regular beers. Can's really cool, but it very much screams 4th of July, which is awesome. I just hope it's not a limited run.
I hope not to. It was a good beer, and everything that you said about it, I would second that. And yeah, I'm going to go back to our Devil's Glen Hy-Vee, and I'm going to look for this on the shelf, and I might buy another one.
Yeah. How far is Oskaloosa? That's where NoCoast is located.
It's south of I-80.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of like between here and Des Moines, but south of I-80. Is
it on our list? Is it a little too far off?
It is not on our list currently, but hey, NoCoast, we're headed down I-80 towards Des Moines from the Quad Cities to Des Moines next week.
Yeah.
So if you want us to make a little pit stop out to Oskaloosa, you just let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to go. We will go out of our way to go to Oskaloosa.
This beer solidifies it. I will
sure.
second that. We've had the Make Waves. We've had the Van Gogh. I think the Van Gogh was the first NoCoast beer we had.
I think you're right. Yeah.
We've had they were the ones that made those 3 nitro beers that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've actually had quite a bit of NoCoast. I forgot about those nitro beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they might be the most featured beer on the podcast.
They might be. We'll double check.
We'll go back and count.
Yeah. But this one's great. Again, this one's the Flying Johnny from NoCoast. Try it out if you haven't. Try to find it if you can't. We're a bit of ways from NoCoast, and we still could find it locally. So I'm really glad. I will have this again happily. Thank you for bringing it.
Yeah, you bet. All right, man. Well, good episode.
Yeah, best episode yet.
Skol.
Skol.
Hey Vikings fans, Evan here from the Skol Hop, and we just wanted to say thank you again so much for listening to the Skol Hop, and we also wanted to take one more opportunity to let you know that this episode of the Skol Hop has been brought to you by Big Top Ventures. If you're considering taking an all-inclusive trip to either Mexico or Jamaica, reach out to our friends at Big Top Ventures at bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. Once again, that's bigtopventuresllc@gmail.com. You can get the lowest rate possible on several all-inclusive resorts throughout the region. Big Top Ventures. Step right up to your next big adventure. And thanks again for listening to the Skol Hop. Skol.